Okay, so now we're doing chapter 4, review C number 1. And in this problem, it's similar to a homework problem we did a while back, where you've got this shape, a regular shape, attached to another regular shape. And in this case, it's a hexagon and a square, and then there's some angles you have to figure out. So if it's a regular hexagon, well, that means all the sides have to be congruent, and all the angles have to be congruent. So we could figure out how big one of these angles is because I know that the total degrees is going to be using this formula on the interior. And in this case, n is 6 because there are 6 sides, or 6 angles, however you want to think about it. And if you multiply the 4 times 180, you're going to get 720. So since there are 6 angles and they're all the same, I can just do 720 divided by 6, and I get 120 degrees for each angle. So let me do a slightly thinner pen here, 120 for each of these guys. Okay, so now let's look at the square. Well, a square also has 4 congruent sides and 4 congruent angles. And I know in this case these are all 90. Whoops, let me keep with the green. So I've got 90 here, 90 here, 90 here, 90 here, and all 4 sides are the same, and since I already have 1 tick mark here, I'm just going to put 1 tick mark on all of them. Okay, so the first angle we need to find is GDH. So that goes G to D over here to H. Now if you look at that, that's part of an isosceles triangle. I'm looking for this angle, and I know this one's 90, and I know these two are the same. So since it's an isosceles triangle right here that I'm looking at, with these two the same, and this is 90, these angles have to be equal. So I can do 180 minus 90, which is 90, and I know that that's what's left over for these two angles. So if I divide 90 by 2, I'll get one of them, which is 45. So I get a 45 degree angle here and a 45 degree angle there. By the way, this also means that the leftover on this side is going to be 45, and this one will also be 45. Okay, so GDH, G to D to H, has to be 45 degrees. Okay, so let's look at BDG. B to D to G. Okay, well, one nice thing about this is I already know this part's 45 degrees. So if I could figure out what this part is, I could just add it to 45 and I'd be done. So let's take a look at this triangle here in blue. Right? It's also isosceles with a 120 degree angle in the middle there. So if I draw that one by itself, I've got the 120 right here, and these are the same. So I've got 180 minus 120 equals 60 degrees left over for these two angles, and 60 divided by 2 is 30. So I get 30 degrees here and 30 degrees here. So let me put those in the picture, 30 and 30. Which means that the angle I wanted in the first place, BDG, is 30 plus 45. 30 plus 45 is 75 degrees. The last angle we need, so let's see if I can find another pen here. Where are the colors? Well, I'll go with green. Okay, so the last angle I need is BGD. So B to G, that's a terrible looking line. B to G to D. So this whole angle. Okay. Well, I know that the bottom part of that angle is 45. So if I could figure out this part, I'd be ready to go. Just add it to 45 and I'm done. So let's look at this thin, narrow triangle up here. Right? That's also isosceles. But in this case, I don't know what that missing angle is in the middle. So what I do know, though, is that this angle is 120 and this angle is 90, and all the way around the thing is 360 degrees. So 360 minus 120 and 90 put together is 360 minus 210, which is 150 degrees. So that's what that angle right there in the middle is, 150. So let me draw that triangle by itself. So it's pretty long and thin and narrow there. So 120, 150. And so that means that I've got 30 degrees left over in this triangle, and it's isosceles. So this has to be 30 and, oh, sorry, not 30, 15 and 15. There. So that means that this angle was 15, and this angle over here is also 15. So I got 15 and 45 to put together to form the angle I'm looking for. That's 60 degrees.